All right. Welcome, everyone, to today's live stream. My name is Heiko from ScriptRunner, and I have an awesome panel here with a lot of great people from the PowerShell community. So thanks for joining. And so today, the goal will be to, talk a little bit and go through the results of our Shorten the Code challenge that we ran throughout September. And Björn is with us because he's number one. He shortened the hell out of this script to win the first prize. So we're gonna definitely talk about how your experience was and things like that. But before we go into that, Mary, we'll make a little round so everyone can introduce himself quickly. Maybe we just go around the picture here. So Björn, do you want to start quickly?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. It was fantastic to be here today. Not just for winning the contest, because it's fun being here with all these fantastic people. My name is Björn, commonly known in the community as Bjompen, on all kinds of platforms. I've been a speaker and a blogger and PowerShell member of this community since a long time ago, and I'm really happy to be here.
Awesome. And you will be at the PowerShell Saturday in Karlsruhe in November, right?
Yep, speaking there. That will be fantastic as well.
Excellent. Which is
visiting your office.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. On my desk, actually. Yeah, no, not really. This is a great segue to Harm. A little introduction from your side, maybe.
Consultant, also a blogger, also on Saturday for my first live talk. So looking forward to that one. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, Doug, maybe you are next.
Sure. Hi, Doug Fink. Been a MVP for 16 years based on PowerShell. Not as long as Jeff Hicks, but Jeff's been around. Wrote a book. Got a bunch of cool modules out there, and thank you for inviting me to hang out and talk about PowerShell.
Yeah, it's our pleasure, and so you have been part of the introduction of Scriptember. So it's kind of the closing ceremony, if you will. So, but who was not part of the first one is Jeff Hicks. So I would like to maybe go to Jeff as next. So thanks for taking the time. That's really awesome. That you can make it.
Thanks for having me. I'm an old PowerShell guy, and I'm just hanging around until someone says, "Get out of here." And
experienced, right? That's the correct word.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Then I maybe go for Bruno, and then we can, Xavier, you can then start with actually talk a little bit about the results. So Bruno.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Bruno, using PowerShell since V1. I'm a consultant and a trainer. So I'm on my daily basis, I'm playing with PowerShell and automating stuff.
Awesome. And then Xavier. So actually, he's the reason why we actually started it, because you did it at the PSCon for you in Antwerp. And then we had the idea like, okay, maybe we can do this online as well during the Scriptember campaign. So welcome, and maybe a little introduction from your side as well.
So I'm Xavier, organizer of the BPAG User Group here in Belgium. It's been now for a good year now. And like Heiko said, we organized this Shorten the Code for the last BPAG. I think the idea came originally for Thomas Weltner when PSConf was still in Germany. So he started that fun, and we continued on what was left behind. I think it gives another way of doing some fun stuff with PowerShell that you normally don't do, because it's making things unreadable, but incredibly fun to see how close people can get to make it very, very short and unreadable, even to those that use PowerShell on a day-to-day basis.
Awesome. And you had the pleasure to really get all the scripts that we received and test them and find out, do they still work and how short the code actually is, right?
Yeah, and how fast GitHub tends to block me for doing too many requests as well.
Nice.
Okay, and I think you sent this list around just a few days ago. So we have we're like 45 participants, or maybe there were even
45 entries.
So we even had people who tried to improve over time, right? So they had their first entry and then they improved it. So people were really into it, but Björn didn't need that. So your first attempt just hit the nail on the head, I would say. So
I've always enjoyed doing code golf. I've been doing it for I don't know how long as well. I find it actually quite not just fun to do. It's actually quite interesting because you learn a lot about how the language works, how it sort of the weird quirks of a language. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And truth be told, I think I could shorten it a character or two more if I would be giving it a bit more tries. But yeah, it was. I hate saying it wasn't that hard.
Anything in particular where you said, okay, this is something you tried to use, which was like maybe a little bit, let's say, off the norm, so to speak?
If one thing I did do, I reused. I had to do the expansion of the property, the count, how many forks. I did that expansion twice, which is 6 characters in total. So I probably could do it once and save like 1 or 2 characters there if I were to twist around a bit. Yeah, this is the kind of fun thing. Like I said, it's one of the fun things you learn about the language and the perks and how there are so many ways of solving the same issue.
Yeah.
Like you can, where you put your parentheses and your string expansions and using new lines versus pipelines, or like how you cost variables or double cost variables. There are just so many interesting ways to solve the same issues, and Code Golf sort of forces you to explore all of these weird ways to solve the same issue.
Absolutely. So maybe it would be, I don't know, Xavier, if you want to share the screen, or should we, or just to show the original. So for people who actually don't really saw the original script, I could show it, or you want to show it? You can share the screen.
I can start with the original. I have everything open.
So Bjorn, when you played Code Golf, did you go up against Steve Lee?
There are some people in our community that I will not challenge. So Steve Lee being one of them. I know Matthias Jessen, IIS Reset Me, also mind-blowingly good at these games. Mm-hmm. But yeah, apparently I'm good enough at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I saw Steve Lee come up with some of his things, I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm not going to play this game.
Cool. So he's in a different league, you mean? He's like
well, he builds the language. I mean, he
has some he's some advantage maybe compared to others, right? Yeah. Okay, so I can put your screen, Xavier, into the stream, which right now shows the StreamYard images. So maybe do you want to share another screen, or is this the correct one?
This should be the correct one, unless it changed. I will do it again to be sure, because ScreenYard is not a way of screening I haven't used yet. I'll just do the entire screen. That's going to be the easiest.
All right. Yeah, I think that looks good. So, yeah. Okay. Maybe you can you zoom in a little bit? So
I can zoom in. Yeah.
That would be great. Okay. So.
That's
okay.
Image.
Perfect. Okay, so that was the starting point, right? So
yep,
that's
the starting point.
The idea you came up with, and we had a little conversation back and forth. I think it was beginning of August. Like, okay, what could be a good one? And you came up with this, yeah.
Yep. Something that everybody can access, and something that doesn't have any like random sales value to anyone, and to keep it open for everyone.
Yeah.
Keep it rather simple as well, not make it too complicated.
Yeah, and it looks like people liked it. So otherwise we wouldn't have all these participants. And so for going through all the results, I think you created a pester test, right?
I did create a pester test, which is the second tab that's open. I did keep it rather simple because I didn't have a massive amount of time last month, but I did use pester as much as I can to do anything for me. And apparently I still have an Outlook open, which is closing now. So I created two simple tests, but those were the most important ones. Is it should do the same output. I kept this as a text because I was having issues of being troubled if I was doing the query twice for every result. So I had to put it in plain text, which was fine. And then the main thing we had to check is if the URL didn't get changed, because I had a couple people trying to get shorter by removing the HTTPS, which does work. That's true. But it wasn't the goal of the challenge.
That's right. So at the first couple of days, we had people even asking, like, okay, is this allowed? Will this be really count as short code? And then we even tweaked the conditions on the page, so we to make it clearer. So we also said if someone is changing the URL, then we still go back to the original one. So we have a
so
the same
fixed all
playing
the codes
field
that changed the HTTPS, and we re-added it and then counted again.
Yeah,
that's definitely what we did. I did like that pester had the option now to use inputs to go over different tests. So I was able to give it the files, an ungiven number of files, and then give it to pester to create the tests for every file. So that didn't have to start the tests for each file one by one. Really nice.
Nice. Okay, and so what Björn, your result is, I think, was 104. Just looking it up in the
144,
table.
yes.
144 characters.
Yes.
And the original one.
The original one has, let's see, down below, 624.
All right. I mean, that's really shortened, right? I mean, this is awesome, and I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know, Doug, did you take this and try to do it with AI? You probably did, right?
No, I didn't make
Of course not.
AI is a fad, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, I did. I was actually going to try and do it live here today, but we can either save that or do it another time, whichever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, actually, Harm and I, we had the idea of maybe doing some kind of shootouts in the future. Like, okay, there's a challenge, do it with and without AI, and let's see how fast you get to which result. So that could be a fun one. So
I did do it with AI, and AI came up with a couple of cool ones, pretty short, and I didn't keep the original one, so I don't know if it beat Bjorn, but it did actually come up with an answer that was wrong because it didn't do the inner parentheses around the IRM, which was really interesting, and I was like, oh wow, it took me a while to figure out, but and then, but what was cool is it didn't work. And I pasted its result back and I told it that it didn't work. And then it came up and told me why it didn't work and then fixed it. So I don't know if that makes sense. So
okay.
So
Interesting.
that's some of the bizarre things you can do. But
Yeah.
so what was so now that you got me talking, thank you. But was it just looking for the shortest code possible? Was the
as
win?
short as possible.
Cool. Because I also wrote something called build prompt file from files, which means I can actually look at an entire directory and I take all that data and I pull it out and I transform it into an XML stack, believe it or not, XML, because things like Anthropic Claude, if you want to process a bunch of files, you basically just come up with a simple, like, here's a document, here's the index, here's the full path to it, and then here's the content. So I took all of the 45 files and I gave it all to Claude. And I said, which one came up with the smaller, which one won based on size? And it did come up with Bjorn's script as being the shortest. So it took me about 4 seconds. But anyway, but I didn't write, I don't know if anybody cheated and took out HTTPS.
A couple.
Yeah, so some people tried it, right? I have a question for Jeff. Is this something that because I know that when for the Global PowerShell Summit, I think you run some kind of challenges as well, but not this kind of challenges, right?
Oh, you're talking about the Iron Scripter. Yeah,
yes.
We used to have some overall challenges, like here's the problem and solve it with PowerShell. But it was there wasn't any focus on shortness. It was on actually making it work.
Yeah, okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay, which also of course makes
the code golf thing is a completely different technique and paradigm that kind of addresses a different learning modality than the traditional Iron Scripter or the other like scripting challenges that I've done in the past. Yeah,
okay, understand. So I think here really number one, it's about the fun and knowing that of course the code that comes out will not be the most readable one, but it still works, right? So maybe Xavier, you can show a few examples.
I can start with Bjorn's one if you want.
Yeah,
the winner takes it all.
So while you're looking for our code, I must say, I don't know, Jeff, if you remember, but I'm fairly sure that you and I actually share the world championship trophy of code golfing.
Oh,
wow.
I think
I know you are pretty good at this.
No, the thing is, when PowerShell had its 10-year anniversary, I think it was, they had a huge global live stream, and there was a code golf challenge, and you were in Stockholm that weekend. And we had a user group in Stockholm, and the Stockholm user group actually won that. So we.
Wow!
All right,
we have a history of doing
together.
This.
You have some history together. Awesome.
That's fine. I recognize that one.
I looked at Bjorn's solution because I knew it was the shortest, and I wanted to say, okay, what did he come up with? And it took me a long time, again, old guy, looking at your sort property. I kept thinking, what variables are F and T that is multiplying? It took me the longest time to realize, that's a wild card and not the multiplication. And I finally figured, I see now. I had to go back and look at the actual property names, and I could see then, that's very clever. But I just for sure, where's this multiplication coming from? Why is he doing that?
So there's a lot of functionality in PowerShell that accepts wildcard that you don't really think of, and just as with everything in code golf, I mean, I would never do this in public when I share stuff, but when I do stuff in the console at home, just do sort and the shortest hand, the less I have to write in my console, the happier I am. So this is kind of the normal cheating ways, sorting stuff, and you just use wildcards, and you just have to have enough characters for it to be unique amongst all the properties that you can sort of.
Yeah, and your second use in the string, where you're getting the fork count again, and you're doing that nested piping. that actually is fewer characters, because why is he doing that? In other words, oh, that's fewer characters than if you were to try to use the same trick again.
Yeah.
Even though it's maybe not necessarily the most efficient way to do it, but character-wise, that does come out shorter. That was very clever too.
Yeah.
So Ryan just suggested that we do another kind of challenge. Maybe next time. That could be.
Please, Ryan, don't call me smart. I'm just really good at writing really bad code.
Yeah.
But it does the job, right? I mean, that's one of the things in PowerShell, right? It just. But I think I think it's really a great combination of the knowledge and the creativity to come up with the idea.
Yeah. And according to my tests, Bjorn's code runs a little bit faster than the baseline challenge.
Really?
Mainly because this is, again, one of the cool things about the code golf is that you sort of explore the quirks of the language. And we have this saying that was written or said back in PowerShell, the youth of PowerShell, filter left, format right. So one of the reasons I believe that this is faster is because I use sort and just filter away everything instead of looping it through. So the original code loops through each and every object just to see if it's how many forks it has, which means I actually toss away before I filter it. So yeah, it's a learning experience. It's cool. It's fun.
And that applies to pretty much any language. You filter out your data and only work on calculating the smallest subset at the end. Cool.
Exactly.
Good point. Yep. Excellent.
So Xavier, one of the questions would I would have, because when we did it in Antwerp, I think there were people who even managed to make the code longer. So did we have this kind of candidates as well this time?
We'll check. We had
no names will be mentioned, of course, right? It's just.
If we had two, one just put an enormous amount of comments in there, and he went up to 2,800 characters. And then the second person stayed around the 683, so which was about the same as we had in the beginning.
Okay, so maybe someone just thought, okay, maybe the challenge is just the other way around. Make it as long as possible.
Possible. I think I also received somebody's work program. That was a completely other PowerShell script than what we were expecting.
Okay. So people got creative in other ways as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So and then actually for the second place, I think it's Christian, who is Christian Ritter, who is also organizing the PowerShell Saturday in Karlsruhe, where we're gonna be it's going to be in our office. So and I think he was one of the guys who tried it twice to make it. So he came up with an even better idea, I think, the second time.
I think he did it 3 times. I think, yeah.
Okay.
We also have a Christian Tuta, which might be another Christian.
Yeah, it's a different one. Yeah. So this one was, I think, just one character longer than.
We'll get it on the screen.
I was actually looking at that. That was my plan of shortening it a bit more, using the casting inside the string, but apparently it didn't work out.
It created one character longer.
Yeah, almost, but still. So both of you, we have 6 winners. We had I think 2 Amazon Gutscheins, gift cards, and 4 books, and so it's, of course, that's part of the fun as well. But I guess it's even more just about taking the challenge and try to find the best solution. So, and was there anything, Xavier, that maybe also in the top 10 that was completely different? So somebody took a completely different approach?
I think it was all going somewhere in the same direction like this. So I think they're all about the same. I can open a couple more if you want.
Yeah, I liked Sam Erday's solution. I think he and a couple other people used the -f operator
Yeah.
to kind of build a string that way.
I'll open it up.
And he's with us. He's so hi, Sam.
So I thought that was kind of a clever approach.
Yep. So actually, one of the things that I was playing around with was the -f and replace the with in your string. So the problem, or the thing that you couldn't shorten here was the URL and the actual output string. Those are quite hard to shorten. But you do with. The word with comes with 2 spaces, which is 6 characters. So if you remove those 2 and replace it with -f with, you can actually, if it had been 1 more character, you could save 1 character by doing the string interpolation somewhere in the string as well, as long as you include the spaces. But yeah.
So next time, so for the next we keep this for the next challenge, maybe. Yeah.
So next time I'll make sure to have a sentence with multiple the same words.
That's a good one.
Awesome. So do you think there are any other additional, let's say, learnings from that for people being in the stream? Besides, well, number one, having fun and really also kind of thinking outside of the box, so to speak.
I think the main learning I always take away from this is that there is a million ways to write your code, and there is no one way that is correct or is amazing compared to the rest. As long as your result is the same in the end, you will get there in one way or another.
Absolutely. So someone was just asking, can we all read the codes? I'm not sure if we can publish.
Just make it anonymous and
all scripts. Yeah, exactly. So maybe we could do this maybe on the GitHub repo.
Yep.
So people can go through it. Yeah, and as we want to keep it in the 30-minute mark for this. So also that Björn doesn't get into trouble because he has some celebration going on today, and we don't want you to get in trouble with your wife.
And he clearly wants to keep the prize for himself.
He deserves it. He deserves it, right? So
I just wanted to make 2 quick comments since we're closing out, though. Is that one, I've seen code like this in production, so it's nothing new to me. But the other thing is, it's what's also interesting with AI is I actually took some of the results, the actual shortened code, dropped it back into AI, and I said, hey, can you explain this? And it comes up and expands everything, and again gives you a nice verbose explanation of each step of the process and gets it correctly, which was I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Anyway, but we can do that at another time.
Yeah. As I said, so having this kind of challenge between using AI versus not using AI, getting to the results is something we definitely, I think, maybe Harm, Doug, and I we should talk about to see if we can maybe we can make it part of the PowerShell is Fun series in the future, maybe. So that would be...
lots of ways to go. Definitely do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. So any additional comments from you guys here in the stream? Bruno, anything you want to add?
Just keep on trying. Just keep on trying.
Yeah, and have fun, right?
Have fun. I ended at 147 characters, so that wasn't bad.
You made it into the top 10, right? So
I did.
So yeah, and Christian just made an important comment because as I already mentioned, our PowerShell Saturday in Karlsruhe, which is actually in Ettlingen, which nobody knows, so that's why we call it Karlsruhe. And there will be another challenge. So, and I guess we're gonna have some nice prizes here as well. But this time, to participate, you need to come to Karlsruhe to do that. Yeah, I think this was really an awesome session. So thanks for everyone who joined in the stream. Everyone here in the panel. Björn, Harm, Doug, Xavier, Bruno, and Jeff. That was really, really awesome. Any famous last words before we close the stream? Xavier, is it like compared to the one that you did in Antwerp? Any big difference in the approach people took, or is it kind of similar?
It's similar, yeah. Some go further than others, and then there were a lot more entries there. So I had more fun going over every one of them.
All right, cool. Yeah, so again, thanks a lot, everyone who joined the stream, watching this session. Thanks to everyone who participated. Again, congratulations to Björn for winning. Yes.
Thank you very much. It was good fun.
Awesome. That's the main thing here, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's the beauty of ugly code.
That's a nice last word for this live stream. So again, thanks a lot, and keep on scripting. You take care, everyone. Bye bye. See you next time.
Bye.